Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Please subscribe my channel. The moment the camera light switched from angry, demanding red to a cold, neutral black, Clara felt the tension drain from her body, leaving her shoulders heavy and her hands slightly shaking. She had just delivered the news, the unthinkable news, with the professional precision of a veteran broadcaster, cutting short a cheerful segment on late-season produce to announce the imminent sale of their entire world. The number, £1.6 billion, echoed in the studio, a vast, impersonal tally for their collective futures. It was the price of an entire institution, casually spoken into a microphone that was now dead. Clara stripped off her earpiece and microphone pack, the movement stiff and practiced. The studio was emptying fast, the crew moving with a strange, unnatural silence. Everyone knew the news was the culmination of a grim year. They had all watched, helpless, as the network struggled with losses, leading to the gradual, painful dismantling of their established order. She walked towards the green room, the memory of the past few months flashing behind her eyes. The first domino to fall was the fictional core of the evening schedule, the beloved, long-running serials which had their episode counts slashed and were forced into a condensed block, a mere power hour, designed to save costs. It was heartbreaking to see the writers struggle to maintain the scope and pace under such crushing efficiency demands. Next came the daytime upheaval. The popular hour of conversation hosted by the network's long-standing daytime queen was cut in half, reduced to a mere 30-minute broadcast that would only air for 30 weeks of the year. This drastic reduction was brutal. It meant the friendly, familiar faces who had previously filled in during breaks were no longer needed. They were simply excised from the budget, rendered obsolete by the new calendar. The spirited lunchtime panel show was likewise constrained, forced into a seasonal rotation. All these changes had been difficult, but they were internal, a desperate attempt by management to keep the ship afloat. This, however, was a flood. The new owners were a global media giant, an entity that commanded film studios, international news operations, and massive entertainment portfolios. They didn't acquire networks. They acquired assets to optimize. Clara knew they would look at her flagship morning program, a show steeped in local relevance and British wit, and ask a simple, frightening question. Does this fit the global strategy? She reached the dressing room and stared at her reflection. The professional smile she'd wiped off moments ago felt like a mask peeled away, revealing a profound anxiety. Even her show's recent scheduled extension, gaining an extra half hour to fill the void left by the daytime queen, suddenly felt like a target, a temporary expansion that could be instantly reversed by the new command. The network's decision to move the production of the morning show away from the familiar studios to an external facility now felt like a prophetic final gesture of severance. It was a physical uprooting, happening just as their corporate identity was being sold off to a distant power. Clara sat down, running a hand over the script notes she had planned to discuss. Her job, her career, her sense of place in the industry, it was all condensed into that vast, indifferent financial figure. But tomorrow, the camera light would turn red again. The nation would be waiting for her to provide stability and continuity, to act as the reassuring constant in a moment of seismic change. They expected a voice, not a breakdown. She took a slow, deep breath. The only thing she could control was the clarity of her own voice and the composure of her on-screen presence. She had survived the cuts, the shakeups, and the initial shock. Now she had to survive the new masters. That was her unscripted, terrifying, and compelling new role.